Madeira was amazing. So like I said earlier, it's an island off of the coast of Africa. So to get there, you have to take a plane, and there's no way to get there without a plane. So you go on a plane for about 2 hours, and then you're in Madeira on an island, and it's super cool. So Madeira it has its own culture. It's kind of crazy because I went there at the end of my mission, and I thought that I spoke Portuguese. I thought that I knew what I was doing, and then I got there, and I was so confused because they have the craziest accent. So it's kind of like, in my opinion, it's an Australian accent. If we were speaking English, it's like an Australian accent for English speakers. So it took about 3 days for me to actually understand what people were saying. But Madeira has its own culture. It has its own dance, actually. And it's super cool. They have like super cute costumes. They dress up in these skirts. They're like black, green, yellow, and red, which are the Portuguese colors. And they have these skirts, and they have these shirts and these little hats and these little boots that they wear, and they get together in this group of probably about 16 people, and they just go around in a circle, and some people are playing some instruments while they're just kind of dancing. And it's super cute. We saw that all the time just in the streets. A lot of our investigators were parts of these groups. But Madeira is beautiful. It's a really small island. You can get to the whole island from east to west, north to south in an hour. So it's very small, but it's so beautiful. It's probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my whole entire life. And the water is just bright blue, so beautiful. And there are so many hills. There are just so many mountains. And so on the edge of the island, it's very flat until you get to the mountains, and it's just so hilly that we couldn't even walk. We had to have bus passes, otherwise it would take probably 3 hours to just get up to one area. So we used buses a lot in Madeira, and that was our main use of transportation. Obviously we walked to some areas, but the majority of the areas we needed a bus to get to. Otherwise it was impossible to get there in less than 2 or 3 hours. But yeah, like I said earlier, the Madeira, it's a branch, but it doesn't seem like a branch because it has about 90 people. It's just a branch because it's not a state yet, and it's just a district. So that ward is super awesome, or that branch actually, it's super awesome. I love them. The people are super great. The members, they're really starting to get fired up about missionary work, which is so awesome. And yeah, the people are super, super open. They're still, like Portugal, they're super Catholic. But there are a lot of people who are willing to hear your message, which is one of the great things, that even though they're Catholic, they are still open to hear about Christ because that's who they believe in. So the people are super, super nice. I love Madeiran people. Cool places to go, maybe on P-Day, is the cool thing, at least about my mission president, is that he let us go up to an hour out of our area for P-Days, so for preparation day. And so we would go, and a lot of times members would take us to places around the island. And it was super cool. They have so many different things to do in Madeira on P-Day. And I was there for 4.5 months, and I still didn't even get to do everything that I wanted to do because there's just so much to do and so little time on a P-Day. But yeah, so that's Madeira.